Look at this widowmaker. Good day. It is -2, but there's quite the blustery wind out, so I came back to Bunchberry Meadows because a lot of it is in the trees. So try and get a walk in without being exposed to too much wind. That tree back there obviously was the result of the winds that we've seen lately. Don't know how far we'll get today, but we'll give it our best shot. I'm smart enough to wear my boots and bring a walking pole, so I'm good to go. This trail is pretty wonky and not well packed down with the snow blowing over it. So I'm just doing a lot of stumbling. This part of the trail really drifted over. Sadly, I'm breaking ground. No cars in the parking lot, so I don't suspect it'll come across anybody. Unless somebody from the neighborhood walks through here. Which is unlikely. Most people drive here. It's all farms and acreages around here. Whew, huffing and puffing already. When I left the house, it was nice and sunny. Now it's back behind clouds again. Not surprising for the way this winter has gone this year. Into the trees now, so it's a little less windy. I took a 2-day hiatus from walking. The other day, 2 days ago, I was just too pooped to walk. I've been doing a lot of work that requires moving stuff around and walking and stuff. So I did get some steps in. Of course, I forgot my watch that day to see how many it was, and then yesterday, busy at work, and then we went to the Mayfield Dinner Theater. We like to do that once a year. We go with my in-laws, and the food is always pretty good there in the buffet at the Mayfield, and the shows are always entertaining. A lot of the acting is kind of cheesy and stuff, which is kind of what you would expect from dinner theater. Some of these players or actors or whatever you want to call them have been doing it there. Like, we've seen most of them in these plays for years, so they must find some pleasure in it. Used to be, you know, all the actors that were on the weekly shows like Love Boat and MASH and shows like that seem to end up in dinner theater. It's like, is this where my career has taken me? Now all I can do is dinner theater. The concept of this last one was kind of a time travel thing, looking at the last 50 years of the Mayfield, back when it was Stage West in the beginning. And one little snippet of history that they reminded me of is when it had burned down. I think it was 1987. The theater burnt down. And there was Dancing Shoes next door, which was a popular dance place and bar that we used to frequent quite a bit. And the bar wasn't affected, but the theater burnt down. And then they, when they rebuilt it They took over dancing shoes and made the theater bigger. Don't know if you can hear it in the audio, but lots of wind blowing through the trees. Holy shit, look at that one. That was a big tree that went down. That wasn't like that the last time I was here. Guess you gotta keep your wits about you. Even walking through a place like this that's somewhat maintained, you never know what's gonna happen. I mean, look at this tree here, how it's split. Big enough wind it could continue to split. I don't think the gusts today are significant enough to blow trees over. But if one got weakened over the course of the last winds we've had, you never know. Listen for the snap and then run like hell and hope you go in the right direction. Some big ravens in here. Last time I came through here, I don't think I had my walking stick or my boots. Today I'm more smarter. At least somewhat better prepared. Ooh, wind really picked up now. A lot brighter out than when I came here last time I got here way too late. Everyone loves to go down and look at that car. It's a story it tells, eh? Like why it's there, why it was left there. And I'm going to reiterate what I said last time. I believe it's a Plymouth with suicide doors from the 40s. Even the horses think it's too damn windy. And I went down that way. And I don't know if I got the jam in me today to do that again. So let's check out this trail. If I have to, I'll do part of it twice to get the number of kilometers in that I should be trying to achieve. Especially taking a 2-day hiatus, I'm at least 10 kilometers behind my pace for the week. When I was a kid, there was no sport that either A, interested me, or B, I was capable of participating in. I was just pathetic. And even to this day, walking is my my big sport. In grade 10, I did the running club for long distance running. I don't know what I was thinking. I never had the stamina for that kind of thing. But walking has always been my sport of choice. It's something that I know I can do. Look at this bad boy that fell here. Trees must be somewhat dry or just rotten and old. Hear the wind really whistling through them though. Oh. Made it. It may not look graceful, but I got over it. Because it is kind of sitting 2 or 3 feet above the ground. Some squirrel is grumpy at me. Maybe that was his house. My wife always said, like, what do you mean, why can't you skate? And I said, my dear, I have tried on numerous occasions to try and learn. Let's see. Just checking the trail here. The connector's only 0.39 kilometers, so I am going to carry on the Aspen Parkland Trail. I said to her, "You've seen me walk. I can barely keep upright on my flat feet on flat ground where I'm tripping on something." It seemed like as soon as I put skates on, my ankles just bent inwards and there was just no pleasure in it. Even on pushing a chair around or somebody helping me, nope. I would rather sit on the chair and have one of my sisters push me around the ice. But walking became my high intensity exercise of choice, or sport of choice. I heard a tree sort of creaking, so I'm picking up my pace to get away from it. Not snapping, just creaking. And maybe it's on its way to tumbling down. There's actually some sizable birch trees in here. That trunk right there looks like it's about 2 feet around. Another earworm in my head. The song "Close to You" by the Carpenters. Carpenters had so many of the cheesiest songs out in the 70s, and now I got one trapped in my head, only because there's some lady on YouTube that she does Carpenter songs, and I happen to come across her, and she sounds without a doubt like the reincarnation of Karen Carpenter from a voice perspective. Didn't make me like their music though. Ranks right up there with things like Captain and Tennille and that idiotic song Muskrat Love. Barf-worthy, baby. That's kind of cool. A huge grouping of birch trees like that. Gotcha. Mundane Man effect. Just as I was doing that, the cloud pushed right in front of the sun. So I just captured it. Then 2 people passed me. Come on. Gross. Ruining my zen. They had binoculars, so I assume they're bird watchers. Or just looking for anything moving in the bush. I've only seen 2 ravens so far. Okay, maybe that's better Mundane Man effect through this grove of birch trees. Trying to get the trees swinging in the wind there. Of course the wind dies down while I'm doing this. Tis pretty out here, no matter what time of year it is. You guys remember taking square dancing when you're in school? I still to this day don't understand the point of square dancing. Was that the only thing a phys ed teacher was capable of teaching? I have yet to be in a position where a hootenanny broke out and we needed to clog dance our way out of the barn dance. I don't know why that just popped in my head. I suppose the point maybe was to build social skills beyond just the interactions you have in classroom. You actually had to touch a girl. I remember my gym teacher said, "We're taking square dancing next week, so make sure you put on a little right guard and a little left guard." Well, hopefully I don't get turned around again and end up walking down the secondary road. I remember back in the day in Calgary, at the Westgate Hotel. There's a tavern there. And on Saturday afternoons they would have a teen dance night. Forget what there was a cover charge, and you got to drink Cokes out of those ALCB beer glasses, and I think sometimes they actually had the live band playing, and then other times it was just either a DJ or somebody spinning albums. That was kind of neat. And then there was a one Legion that was did Sunday family dances. Would be like I think it was either a buffet or, yeah, it was a buffet, and a live band. So Mom used to take us there every now and again when she could afford it. I don't think those kind of things exist anymore. They probably aged their way out. That's working itself out to be a nice Christmas tree. Just kidding. I saw on the news yesterday that they were going to relax some of the medical conditions that prevented you from getting into the forces. I'm thinking, great. Are they already starting to plan for the draft? Then that's all we need is lactose intolerant asthmatics with flat feet trying to protect us from the Americans racing to our border. You'd be like, stop! Whoa! Let me get my inhaler out. Our generation's probably been one of the luckiest as far as not having to deal with a major war since Korea or Vietnam or even World War II. And the way we grew up, we always had enough. There wasn't really a ton of hardship. I'm treading my words carefully because there's people that always had it way worse, but when you're living a certain circumstance, your reality is what you know as far as how bad things are. So I got that going for me. I always get out here, and when I get started, it's like, oh, I wonder how I'm going to do this. I really can't do it. And then, 1,000 steps in, it's like, let's go a little further. Let's go a little further. I'm already just about back to the parking lot. I'll have to check to see what my mileage is to see if I got to do more. Okay, I've only done 4.5 kilometers, so yeah, backtrack a bit and do maybe a half to a kilometer and then come back again. When you're plowing through snowdrifts, it seems like you've gone further than you really have. And let's enjoy the fact that the sun came out before it sets. Set both Runkeeper and my watch to hiking, so I don't know if that makes a difference on how it tracks your mileage. Like, I don't know why they need two different settings for that. Of course, reading instructions might help, but why the hell would I do that? I have worked up a pretty good sweat though. I guess that's a good sign that I'm burning energy. Okay, now we might be just walking for the sake of getting mileage in instead of enjoying it. Climbing that hill was part of that. It wasn't even a steep one either. It's still pretty blustery out in the open areas here. I thought there was a shortcut trail that might take back to the parking lot, but I think I'm just gonna have to turn around. I think I've put enough energy out for now. All these birch trees must be natural, eh? I'm too used to scrawny pine trees and poplars that seems to be all that is around here. But then you look at all these birch trees. I can't imagine somebody planted them unless they did grow wild after somebody did plant some. Still can't get that earworm out of my head. It's always a cheesy song too. It's never a good one. Is there a song that you hear that just makes you want to vomit? One song I can't stand anymore, because it seems like so many artists have covered it, is Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen. If I ever hear that song, I just switch it off. Makes me want to drive my car off a bridge. Screaming hallelujah all the way down. One song my mom absolutely detested was Anne Murray's Snowbird. She absolutely hated it. One year I got her they'd just gotten a new stereo, so we're talking way back in the mid 80s. And I got her some Christmas albums because she liked Christmas music. And one of them was Anne Murray's Christmas album. Well, you would think I'd slap her upside the head with it. I didn't know her hatred of Anne Murray ran deeper beyond that one song, but apparently it was all Anne Murray songs. So, a faux pas on my part, apparently. That little memory did the trick, because now I got Snowbird running through my head. 2 cars in the parking lot besides mine. Getting too busy here. Time to get out of here. I was going to have to say, hating Anne Murray is almost un-Canadian. Okay, Runkeeper said I did about 6.29 kilometers, and that was about an hour and 40 minutes to do that. So a bit of a slower pace, some ups and downs, and plowing through snow. So that was a good workout. Until the next one.